Oh, and one.
Tired of wiping on the same boss for hours?
Die, insect.
Can't seem to win against that new druid deck?
My thanks to you.
Are your teammates not standing on the payload?
Quit lollygagging. Get on the payload.
Well, grab a drink and pull up a chair. This is the Game Case Show, your Blizzard Entertainment podcast. Here are your hosts, Cuddles and Turarts.
Well, hello, hi, howdy, and welcome to episode 97 of The Game Case. I am Chris, also known as Cuddles, a Brewmaster Monk on Airy Peak in the Convert to Raid Guild.
And I'm Turarts, a Beast Mastery Hunter, also in the Convert to Raid Guild on Airy Peak server.
This week, we're going to talk a little bit about our week in gaming, answer some questions from the Cuddle crew, and then we're going to be talking to one of the most amazingly bearded, one of the best hugging, one of the most buttery voiced podcasters in the Blizzard universe. That's right. I was almost going to read that. We have Thorn on tonight. Because it says Thrawn in the show notes, and I almost read that.
What?
Be like, we have Thrawn! Yay! Who's Thrawn?
No proof. No proof now.
It's like somebody wrote a question mark at the end of your teleprompter.
Yeah.
Thorn on the show tonight.
Tonight? How are you
Thanks
doing?
for having me, guys. I'm doing well, thank you. Just came off of a Game of Thrones finale, so I'm a little, a little
No
emotional,
spoilers.
a little ready. But I'm ready to go. No. Just
That's my post show ritual. In chat, I will
Spoiler you get from me is that it was good.
I will ban, like, I don't even care. You're gone. No spoilers tonight. This is a
He's gonna
finale.
be on the show tonight, guys, but now he's out of here.
Well, thank you so much for taking time out of your extremely full schedule to come hang with us tonight. How was your week of life?
It was great. Yeah, I had a great week. I had a boss out of town this week. Got to be very, very productive. Got to come home and game. You do the life thing to get
Yes.
back to the gaming thing, right? Like you got to do what you got to do. What was it? What was that? I think it was a line from, was it Gladiator of all things? Sometimes I do what I want to do. The rest of the time I do what I have to.
Yeah.
I like it. I didn't realize that was from Gladiator. I like that. Now after I watch the Game of Thrones finale, and then I say that I'm going to go to bed, and then I stay up and watch Ballers. Now I'm going to have to stay up. Like I'm just not sleeping tonight. Oh well.
Tomorrow's stream, Cuddles on no sleep.
Yep.
Normal.
Cuddles on 5 Red Bulls. It's going to be the
Oh.
most hype stream until it's
No
not.
idea what you mean by
Exactly. I know it. I have an empty right here. I can fact. Oh.
Sugar free all the way.
Oh yeah.
It's the good stuff.
Too much sugar. It's not good for you.
Way too much. Yeah.
Why don't we dive right into what we've been up to this last week of gaming? Thorn, why don't you kick it off? What have you been doing? What you been playing? What's going on in your world?
You mentioned PUBG. I'm looking forward to potentially getting into that, but so far, the funny thing that is about you mentioning that is that's a relatively newer one. I am so far behind that I went through a phase of Shadows of Mordor just a couple of months ago, a few weeks ago, maybe even. I'm kind of over that now, but got pretty nice and far in that, so that was fun. And then just this past week, at the end of the week, I got Grand Theft Auto 5, 4
Oh.
years later after it's been out. But it was really fun, so I had some guildmates jump in there, and we had a night out with the boys Friday night. It was quite a night. Otherwise, the Blood of the Scribe raid team is now 8 of 9 heroic. We got Fallen Avatar down this week. And
Congrats.
Jaden, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, that Avatar was a rough fight.
It sucks.
How far are you in on Kill Jaden now?
We got in
Like just like a couple pulls.
5 pulls.
Okay.
Yeah, we got him down to 54%. We got to, we're in phase 2, not quite to phase 3 yet. So, and then other than that, some Overwatch PTR to try out some of these crazy new
Good stuff.
changes. Mercy's new ult and abilities, Ryan's ability to turn his freaking head finally, and Diva's changes that are just, there's some big changes coming. So had to get in there right away and try them as soon as possible.
How's Diva playing now?
Very well, very well.
Yeah.
The defense matrix was like just a little too OP for a while there.
Mm-hmm.
Pardon me, still is in live, but just too much of it, too much uptime on that. So, it feels a lot better so far. I mean, it's PTR, limited time in there, but so far so good.
Right on. That's
Mercy
one
is
thing.
nuts, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh God, she's OP as hell. Oh yeah.
They'll tweak it, but
I hope they don't. I wanna see some like OP Mercy. Like, just give us a couple weeks of fun.
Yeah.
And then patch it. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like stuff like that. As long as it's a, I mean, like how OP can Mercy? Like, she's Mercy. She's still squishy.
Yeah, but she can fly.
Yeah, but I can
Like-
shoot things in the air.
Freaking fly. Yeah. But I don't even mean just like not even like Farah boost and float. I mean, can fly. Man.
Yeah.
Like, and she can still do her shift ability to get right to another player as well, and then her healing, just her stream while she's in that Archangel, whatever I forget what it's called. I don't even know the name of the new ult because it's so nuts and so new. But then her healing spreads to multiple targets at once during that, and her right click power up spreads to multiple targets at the same time and chains to all these other people if they're nearby each other. It's nuts.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh, it's crazy.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's glorious.
And then her she can only single ult now, right? In the PTR still, but it's up every 60 seconds or something like that. And during her ult, it's up every like 10, 20, 30 seconds, something like that.
Oh, wow.
The ult is nuts. It is nuts. So I don't know, man. It was such a big difference. I'm a support main in Overwatch, so it was such a big difference that I forgot to use it the first time I was trying it out. It just wasn't. I was waiting to like res somebody. I was like, oh wait, I can do that whenever I want now. I don't need to wait on this ult. This ult's way better. So yeah, it's nuts. I definitely recommend getting in there and trying it out.
Now you may have gotten me to download the Overwatch PTR for the first time.
Oh yeah, definitely try it out. You got to. This might be the couple weeks that you get to try out the OP-ness.
I like it. I like it. The OP-ness.
So that was my week. How about you, Torrance?
Yeah. So my week, I did some raiding, which is very surprising because I have not really raided yet. This Bacon and Kegs took me in this morning, and we got all the way up to kill Jaden. Because that Fallen Avatar fight sucks all the balls. Like, it sucks. No, it does. Because you have to sit here and you're like, okay, do the ad thing, but you have to watch out for the freaking daggers because you're going to take out a tank, and that's what kept happening. And I was a pull-in, like I was a pug going into it, and I didn't hit a tank once with a dagger, I think. Don't anyone ever correct me on it. Let me think that I didn't hit a tank with a dagger. But no, it's tons of fun. I got some gear, and they're a very adult raid team. So
Awesome.
It was fun to make comments about inappropriate things, but we're a family-friendly podcast, so I can't talk about those
That's
inappropriate
a great name
things.
too, Bacon and Kegs.
Yes, oh, it's amazing. So that was tons of fun. So I actually did the WoW thing, which was exciting. Still leveling up my Horty. She's at 33 now, I
Yay.
think. Yeah, I forgot how much I hate leveling. Because by the time you do a dungeon, you're already out of the zone, and so you're going to the next zone. But then you get to a dungeon, it's just dungeon. That's all you need to do is dungeon, and you'll live.
Yeah.
So doing that, as far as non-Blizzard stuff goes, all the PUBG all the time.
Yeah.
This game's addicting.
You're both on it now.
Yeah, he got me on it because we did a tea and cuddles after dark, and he's like, "Hey, have you this PUBG thing yet?" I'm like, "Well, let me check it out." And then we just all the PUBG'd. If you start, you won't stop. Like, if you start, you will not stop. And then I got back into Mass Effect, which is exciting. Streamed that a little bit Friday, and it's frustrating as all hell. I had to stop because I could not get back to the part after like 8 or 9 deaths. I was like, okay, we're moving on. But no, I'm loving Mass Effect. It's still just as fun as I remember. And even for a game that's very, very old and that I'm very late to the party on, it's still pretty like good graphics and story and all this stuff. So totally excited to be back in that, but very versatile in the games this week.
Yeah.
I played more
Love
math
that.
games. Cuddles, do you want to hear about my math games?
Oh, jeez. Are we back to math games? Like, we've gone a good couple months without hearing about
I
math
know.
games.
I know. Well, this is a card math game. Have you heard of Flux?
No.
Flux.
Okay, it's a card game where like you'll have rules like draw one, play one, and then you'll have a goal. There's a Monty Python Flux, and one of the goals is like death and rabbit. So you have to get a card that's death and then a card that's the killer rabbit. Well, there's a math version of this. So the goal is to just create math equations. So like one of them is like whoever has like, because you each set cards out with number. Okay, it's fun. It's tons of fun. There's other versions of this game that you would like so much more than the math flux, but I got math flux and I am so excited.
Nice.
I think you would actually enjoy Flux Cuddles, not math flux, but yeah, he's just done. He's done. You get to add and subtract, and it's even a multiplication. It's amazing.
I thought you were frozen there for a second. Cuddles.
I don't even have words for this. Like, you would love it. You get to add and subtract. Like, those are my least favorite things in the world.
Look up regular Flux, or even like the Monty Python. There's Doctor Who. There's like space and stuff. There's some fun versions of this game that you would play and enjoy. It's a physical like card game, so you actually have to like be with people, which is where like
Oh, yeah,
big problems come in.
that's the hang up for me.
Socializing. But no, it's tons of fun. But yeah, so math. Okay, you can go on with what you did now. I got my math bit in there. It's been a little bit.
Thank you. I realized today that I haven't left the house in over a week. Mostly because I've been playing way too much PUBG.
PUBG is life.
It just hasn't PUBG is love. PUBG is life. I have and Milwaukee, sorry about that timeout. That was the bot. You're good. I think Turarch just reposted that for you. But no, I've been watching a lot of a guy by the name of Shroud over on Twitch TV. And if you click on PUBG, you're going to see him, because I think as of right now, I may or may not have him open in another window.
I watched him too.
Yeah,
He's
he has around 30,000 people watching him right now. And like 17,000 subscribers. It's insane.
Nuts.
Dude's making more than twice what I make in a year every month just off Twitch subs.
God.
Is he a Call of Duty guy?
He was a former pro CS:GO player.
CS:GO.
That has retired, and the way that he plays PUBG is it's just, I mean, it makes sense. The guy's been for 10, 15 years playing games 16 hours a day competitively. So it makes sense. He got good. When you yell at people and tell them to get good, well, he did.
Okay.
He did. And not to bore you guys, but he plays super aggressive, and that's how I've started to try to play PUBG. And that's what. So Turarts and Cuddlewife, my wonderful
sneaky.
and incredible, yeah, they're like, we're gonna sneak around the side of the map. I'm like, I need kills. Give me blood. I don't want to win the game and have one kill. I want to win the game and have 13 kills, or have 8 kills and not win. So it's been fun. I've been actually taking PUBG seriously and attempting to actually learn and get good.
Good for you, man.
And so that's where the journey's at right now. We snuck in a little bit of Fallout 4. I'm playing some Hearthstone. I always am. It's my effective toilet time game. And I have done a little bit. I haven't gotten down the Lich King yet. I think I'm two Hearthstone missions. I don't remember the terminology. But 2 Hearthstone missions away from it, and I got a little bit of the summer games, because this is the last full day for those in chat.
Yeah.
This is the last full day of summer games, so if you haven't gone in there and at least tried it out, put up Overwatch, give it a go. The Blizzard team does a phenomenal job of seasonal events. That's one of the things I started playing right before Winter Veil in 2014 or 15, one of those. I'm math bad. See, this is why I don't want math games, T.
I agree with you on that.
But I can remember walking into Stormwind That's how low level I was back then. I was still walking into Stormwind.
2015. It was 2015.
There you go. See, T knows these things. But I remember walking in and just being amazed at like what they had done with the game, and they're continuing that with all of their games. And just kudos to the Overwatch team for keeping up summer games. It's a really cool little, I guess, what's becoming a tradition.
Yeah.
But I think that'll about wrap it up. For what we did, why don't we go ahead and dive into some questions for the show? Before we do, if you're wondering, like, hey, I have questions. I listen to your show. However, could I ask these things? Go to bit.ly/cuddlesdiscord. That's bit.ly/cuddlesdiscord. That'll give you a link to join our Discord server, and we have a little voice chat channel called Questions for the Show. You put your questions in there, and then we ask them. It's very straightforward.
It's a good system.
It is. It is. I thought about naming like the channel like puppy dog pictures just to confuse people. But then I figured we'd get a lot of puppy dog pictures. But then I thought maybe that'd be okay. And then I don't know. Anyway, questions for the show, guys. Torres, why don't you read our first question? I don't know where I'm going with any of this.
It's fine. Alice Saunders back. She's asking some questions, and we have. So the lack of anything coming out of Gamescom, does that mean a fantastic new explosion at BlizzCon this year? Also, who let Draenei pilot these things anyway? But yeah, Gamescom. So that was this week. There was some news.
A little bit.
Not as much, I think, as people were expecting. So what do you think, Thorn? Are we going to get just new explosion at BlizzCon?
So I have a perspective on this for sure.
Okay.
I think when you put somebody like Ian Hazzikostas in charge of things for the WoW side, at least.
Yes.
Obviously, this is just relating to the WoW side. They put him in charge. I don't know if you guys remember from BlizzCon last year, but he was talking about how we wouldn't be seeing the content drought and how aggressive their schedule for development is.
Yeah.
I think we've seen some good.
He's kept his word.
Proof of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Gamescom announcements were exactly what I thought they would be, and I'm not sure that anybody really expected there'd be anything too big at Gamescom, with BlizzCon just being a couple months after that. If I were BlizzCon from a business perspective, I would be saving large announcements for my my quarterly earnings calls. I mean, for BlizzCon. Because that's where the fan base is paying the most attention. It's really where it's your own hype train that you're driving. So that seems like the time that it would make sense for me to do it, if on that end from a business perspective. So that makes sense to me from the WoW side. And then from the rest of the games, I think I've seen, we've all been watching this company for a while, right? So there have been some very clockwork, very schedule-oriented changes since the purchase by Activision, and now that it's Blizzard Activision or Activision Blizzard, whichever way that goes, I forget. There is a corporate, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, there is a corporate approach to some of these things. When you think about a software house that's maybe on the smaller end, a lot of times they can do more of the things where, it's we're going to push the next patch when it's ready, that sort of thing. And I think to their credit, Blizzard really keeps to that. It doesn't go out unless it's ready. I just think they're doing a tidier job on the inside of making sure that it's ready on more of a schedule.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't be surprised if we do see some delays on things, because I would expect, I think we all expect of Blizzard to hold something back when it's not ready, and I think we all respect that by now. They've shown us that it's worth a damn, that if they're going to make you wait, there's a good reason why. But we haven't seen that yet. It's been rolling out like clockwork.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So,
and they do, especially compared to. I know a lot of Blizzard fans are Blizzard gamers, and we live in the Blizzard launcher. And I know a lot of people don't. Like, I know we're all gamers and we play a lot of different things. I can tell you, I have been as a variety streamer, I have been horribly disappointed in some of the absolute crap that people have pushed out lately. No Man's
bad.
Sky.
Yeah, prime
Like,
example.
That was absolutely horrible.
Did you play it?
I did. I felt bad because somebody, one of my viewers actually bought it for me because they knew I was super excited about it. And
Sure,
yeah, I will be going back. They just did a big major update. Dreadnought was another one. It was a 5v5 arena space battle game. Did a great job. Had horrible MMR. Like they did it. I could go on and on about that, but the one thing that Blizzard does is when they give us something, it's done. Like beta isn't beta. Are you kidding me? Beta is them showing off. They're like, if they had suspenders, they would be pulling them out and snapping them back and going, "You're welcome." Like Blizzard is so good about giving us a quality product. No, let me ask. I want to dive a little bit deeper into this, and I don't know if we were going to do this later, but what do you think we are going to see out of BlizzCon? It just like not like in depth, but like, wow, are we going to see an expansion? Overwatch? What are we going to see? Hearthstone? We just got Knights of the Frozen Throne. What's going to happen? Diablo? We just got the Necromancer. What else are they going to do? StarCraft, I don't speak Korean, so I have no idea how to play that game. I need to stop making that joke because that is probably horribly racist.
Never going to get a StarCraft person on the show ever.
No.
I feel like that's
it's legit.
I feel like that's like a compliment, though. I mean, they're so dominant. It's
they crush it.
You better bow down because
there is no reason why I would play StarCraft because they're just that good. No, but like, what do you think? What do you think are going to be the high points that we see?
I am not a prognosticator, so my suspicions are boring. Warcraft, in WoW, I think it's going to be a new expansion, and in Overwatch, I think it's going to be some peeks at new heroes, maybe a new map. But they just announced the new map for Junkertown, so that was on my list. I guess not anymore. I would have thought maybe a new game mode, but they also just announced deathmatch now too. So I don't know. And then for heroes, I would, again, kind of more boring stuff. It's not boring. These are great things, but they're not any sort of, I don't know. I apologize. I don't really have much of it.
And
interesting.
I love that. I love that because that's exactly my thought. Like without you even making wild leaps of fancy about what's going to happen, exactly what you said is exactly how I feel. Like, what can they do?
Yeah.
Now,
not that
obviously,
I'm unhappy with it. No, those are good things.
no. And Blizzard, they'll surprise us. Yeah. They'll surprise us with something that we'll hear about a week and a half before time, but they'll surprise us with it. And I don't know. I'm just pumped for BlizzCon. And once, oh please.
Sorry, I didn't mean to step on you there. I was just gonna say, I imagine from their perspective, think about how things go for you at work when you have to give your annual update to your boss or to your, I imagine this is almost like a board meeting, like this is, but with hype, with crazy hype, and a really good crowd, probably a better crowd than a board meeting. But this is also a very public, very, there's some danger in this. They got to be very careful about what they say. And there's a lot of expectations. Us fans are pretty insatiable.
Oh yeah.
Anything short of an expansion, and I feel like we'd be disappointed. So it's like, and an expansion is no small thing. Like that's a big deal. But I mean, I've got to say again, just on the Warcraft part, 7.3 patch is like an expansion. That thing is so packed that I'm just like, how the hell are they what are they going to do next to top this? Like this is
if you guys and by you guys I mean our folks in the chat and our listeners at home or at work or wherever you might be, if you haven't noticed, I've been in WoW a whole lot lately. 7.3. I in the middle of that I was like, I'm back in WoW. This is like rip GG. It's back on. This isn't, this isn't Hellfire Citadel. Like, oh hey, we're giving you a new raid tier and there's like a new quest out of the place that you can go do and get some stuff and whatever. There's a left shark. Yeah, there's a left shark.
Left shark.
I mean,
Oh God.
like this is I almost, as I was watching it, I was like, is this 7.3 or did they just announce an expansion? What the hell's going on? So kudos to Blizz for that.
Yeah.
Let's ask our next question
Right.
here real quick, and then I'm sure we'll talk about this more here in a little bit. But this one is from Galvanid, and I like this one. So Thorin, this is specifically for you. We're gonna play
Oh boy.
Marry, Screw, and Kill. I know it
Okay.
by a different name, but Marry, Screw, and Kill. Your choices are Illidan, Khadgar, and Tyrion. So you gotta pick which one you're gonna marry, which one you're gonna screw, and which one's just done.
Let's see. I'd married Tyrion, even though I'm Horde. Clearly, he's Horde friendly. Let's call it that. And super loyal, right? So that would go a long way in a marriage keeping. The screw, I'd probably Illidan.
Okay,
Those crazies, they make for a good lay.
pre like Demon Hunter fell Illidan or like now Illidan.
Whatever the craziest point was, then I guess, because that's kind of the point. Pre, I guess.
All right.
I don't
And
know.
then
Right
we're-
now, he seems more driven than nuts to me. Then again,
Yes.
now is post 10,000 years. He might be pretty pent up. So,
Oh, well then.
and then kill Khadgar because I'm just a little tired of Dadgar.
All right, Cuddles, I'll let you answer this because it's quick. So you got your choices. Which one are you marrying?
Tyrion.
Are you killing Khadgar?
Yeah.
And you're screwing Illidan.
I'm bending Illidan over and grabbing onto those demon horns like with abandon.
There you go.
It's a passionate tryst. What about you, T?
Similar. I definitely kill Khadgar because screw this. We've been at this for a few expansions now. Like I'm done with your shit. We're done, Khadgar. I would do a one night stand with Tyrion though. Like get that over with. And Illidan, oh, that's a long term thing because I feel like yes, he's pent up and he has some tricks you can't get over on the first screw. So I'm gonna marry that one right there and
Long-term thinking.
long term thing there. But no, Khadgar, I am so done with him. He's over. I swear to God, the next expansion, if Khadgar pops up and says we have a problem somewhere, I might just be like, wow, you lost it. We're done. Like I can't do this anymore. Oh. But I think we have some potatoes or something to jump.
Some meat and some potatoes to jump into.
Some
Let's
jumping.
Let's just
Good
dive.
question, Galvanid.
At some point, we need to get a kiddie pool and fill it with meat and potatoes and just get like a gif of me jumping into it. And we can use that every show. It'll be, maybe not. I don't know. Thorn, tell us a little bit about you so I can stop talking.
Well, I am co-host of the Lagging Balls podcast and the LB stream. The first one we've had going for a couple of years now. We're in 114 episodes or so. And so not that much older than you guys. And the LB stream we just started, that's like on episode 3.
Yeah.
That's a Friday night stream show now. So that's with my co-host Thist. You may or may not have heard of her. She may not have been around on some of these other shows, including yours.
Yeah.
And then I am also GM of Blood of the Scribe on Boulder Fist US. Established 2009, Horde side, Horde love. Glad to have you, T. And former director of marketing for Divergent Gaming and current director of marketing for an experiential marketing agency on the East Coast.
Oh, wow.
You are busy.
So, a little bit about me.
Nice. Nice. I like. Now, the Lagging Balls stream, you said
Mhm.
that's on Friday. What
Yes.
time? Break this down for me.
It is at 10 p.m. Eastern on Fridays.
I think it's
Um,
before Azeroth
before
Roundtable.
Azeroth Roundtable.
Yep.
Yep. the hour before that.
What?
So it goes us, then Azeroth Roundtable, then Epic Fail.
Right on.
Which I see Draven in the chat. That's all. Shout out to you, bro.
Oh, Draven.
So are you guys keeping those separate then, the Legging Balls stream and the Legging Balls podcast?
Yes. 2 different shows. The podcast is pre-recorded and comes out roughly Wednesdays. Last week and this week, Gamescom news from last week and now 7.3 from this week are going to push it back a day. But normally, yes, Wednesdays, early morning-ish. And then then the stream is Friday nights live on Twitch and then goes to YouTube after that. So.
Gotcha. Okay. What was because the live stream was something you guys weren't doing when we had this on about a month ago. What was the drive behind that? Did you guys just want that interaction with the community, or did you want to do something just kind of different, but still keep the podcast that you guys have worked so hard on?
Mm-hmm. It was definitely both of those things. The community has been asking very vocally for us on stream. Let's be honest, they want to see Fist. And I am all in on that. I understand, believe me.
I'm there for you, baby.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Oh, you cad. So, the original request was flick that hair.
I lost my earbuds.
Airfail flips.
Yeah, originally, people were asking for us to stream the podcast, and we just thought, we're trying to keep the podcast quality high, and we knew that. Look, I'm gonna be honest. I got a little ADD going. Like, things on screen and big shine. Like, I get distracted, and some of the magic of pre-recorded podcasting is you don't hear all the mistakes, and you don't hear all the burps and all the farts and all that lovely stuff. And leave me alone. I'm gassy. So when it comes to these other things, like the LB stream, that's something that we can dedicate just to that. The point is, it's a live show. We had a big heaping helping of that during our 100th episode when we did a 24-hour stream, and it's plenty fun. But you guys know from doing this show weekly that it's when you're live, you're on, and it takes a lot out of you. And Cuddles, you stream like crazy, so I don't know if it's changed for you over the years or you've become more accustomed to it, but I know for us, it's important for us to keep the energy levels high, and it's important for us to keep on topic and things like that for the podcast. And so those are things that we wanted to really keep separate so that the podcast remains its own entity and retains the quality. It's like any of your favorite podcasts, maybe a comedy podcast, a topical podcast about news or whatever else. For example, I listened to one about politics, and I love that show, except when they do a live episode and then they put it out as a podcast. Then it's just not that great. It's different. Yeah. And
it's not that it's bad. It's not what you're expecting from that product.
Exactly.
And that's what, for me, I went live episode 10. So my show has very much been this. Like, this is my show. This is the product that people expect. And they keep on coming back for some reason.
It's a good show, but you've determined what you are, you're sticking with it, and you're making a good quality product out of that. And that's exactly what we wanted with this. We both thought like we might be a little self-conscious if we're on stream and trying to keep the podcast at the same quality. That's all. It's 2 different types of content. For the podcast, it's focused. It's at least based. There are touch points of news around which all the rest of the conversation happens. The better stuff, I'd almost say. And then the stream is just free form, whatever topic we have. Sorry, TV. We're gonna say.
No, as I say, when you're on the camera, there is, and this may be a girl's perspective, so if this might understand me, there's a certain level of self-consciousness of what is being shown and what face am I making. Because I'll look over at the camera all the time. I'm like, oh, I'm totally like doing my intent listening face, which is not a pretty face. Like it's an awkward face. Huh? But no, being live is terrifying. I'll get.
I really want to pick my nose right now.
Yeah. The nose itches and yep.
But then there's that. See, your nose itches like right on the inside, and you just want to like kind of touch it, but on camera it's gonna look like you're full on like gold digging, and You can't
Can't
do
have
that.
Especially not with Twitch clips now these days.
Oh my
You
God.
don't want that getting out of the way.
And I mean, you mentioned, and it's an entirely different feeling from recording, knowing that stuff can be edited out. I spent a long time until I had my wife actually start streaming a little on her own. She didn't understand that, like whatever your job is, like 98% of jobs out there, when something, even if you're dealing directly with people right in front of you, you can turn around, walk away, and go to the break room. You can look away for a moment. You don't have an HD camera pointed in your face and have people expecting you to be entertaining
Right.
the entire time. And that can be a physically, emotionally, and psychologically exhausting process. And it really is. It's why you see streamers and content creators of all sorts burning out. It's why you see guys disappear for weeks at a time.
Yeah.
But kudos to you guys for going live and doing some new and unique content. I'm actually really excited to go check this out.
Thanks. Yeah, we really have to turn it back around to the fans. Everybody's been so great and so supportive and really pushing us. We're constantly asking for feedback, and the great thing is that they're giving it. You know, they're saying things like, "We want to see you guys more often," or "Why don't you stream?" or "Thorin, shut up and let Thriss talk more." And, you know,
That might be for different reasons.
and this is all helpful feedback. So,
So, Plaguing Balls, we've been around a while, 114 episodes. You guys have been to BlizzCons?
just once.
BlizzCon, just once.
Just last
Okay.
year. Yep.
All right. How? Because I know you guys had these cute. I love the buttons that you guys had. All
Thanks.
the white with the black. But Assortable, what was it like going to a BlizzCon knowing that you had a community already that you were going to meet? There are going to be people there, that kind of thing.
It was great, but I don't know that we expected much. You know, it was our first BlizzCon. We'd had the show we covered BlizzCon on the show the year before.
So at least
by watching the live stream stuff. So we covered it from afar the year before, and I don't think that we expected anybody to know anything about us because we were just the first. You know, it was our first year there. Like, for example, Cuddles, the first time I saw you was at the Well Played party. Was it Well Played party?
It was.
Yes.
You were
the one where you were
by.
live. Yeah.
You were walking by, and I saw the both of you guys, and I still feel horrible that we had never got to like.
Well, you were live the whole time. It's all good. Like you're on.
This year I'm taking a break for you.
Thanks, buddy.
To spend a couple minutes, and I want the both of you guys on cam. I want you guys on the stream.
As long as there are drinks involved, we're good.
I'm booking you. I don't drink during the stream. Everybody thinks that they're like, we see how drunk you get by the end of the stream. And I'm like, no, this is like the one part of BlizzCon. Like, yeah, I'm getting perpetually more exhausted.
Sure, yeah.
But no, there can be drinks for you.
We would love to. Well, for me, I guess alone then, because this doesn't drink. I will drink.
There you go. You can drink for the both of us.
Me drinking. No, but that's where I saw you for the first time. I was like, who's this guy in the kilt? It was awesome. But then the coolest part about rooms like that is you see how strong the community backbone is, right? So all the people who are the super fans and all the people who are the content creators, it's all a family. This is all, everybody knows everybody, and it doesn't matter. I had to think about what party was that again, because the parties are almost indistinguishable. It's all the same people at all the same things, just loving it, you know, which is just awesome. So that's more of what really struck me from that. And I got to say, it was really cool having some dude walk up in like a dragon costume and say, "Bye, Felicia," which is like the catchphrase from the end of the Lagging Balls show. Yeah. So that was nice to like hear and totally unexpected. Like I think like if you're out there, dude, whoever you are, I'm really sorry. I think I reacted in like I was so surprised that I don't think I gave you anything worthwhile as a reaction. I was probably just like, "Oh, what? Hey." I think that was about the extent of the reaction, because I was just not expecting anything like that. So that was pretty cool.
How would you say, are you both going to, I think we said, they said she was going, you're going to 2017 BlizzCon. How are you guys preparing differently then, now that you know, like, Legging Balls is a household name?
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I guess I have some thinking to do. More buttons for one. And I think, we had some things that we were going to try and work out, like a party type thing, but it's pretty expensive. So
yeah, I can attest
I
to
know
that.
you
Yes.
know that. Oh yes. So yeah, and I don't think we want to do another like community funded, like, I feel like that would just kind of dilute the whole. There's enough of that going on. We'd rather just contribute to that. So anyway, as far as what we're doing differently, there's some stuff we were trying to do for the guild. I don't really want to talk about it just yet because I'm not sure if it's going to happen.
Plans are happening.
But in terms of, just bringing people together and helping people get their plans together and places to stay, and like we worked really hard on trying to help get everybody tickets and all that sort of thing. So, but again, the guild really stepped up on that. So we've got a nice group of guildies coming. I'm not sure how many altogether because it keeps growing, which is awesome. But otherwise, it's hard for me to hear you say something like household name for the show, because I don't know that I feel that way, and it's humbling to hear that. I just don't know. I don't know. I guess I don't know what to expect.
I would say I do a lot of creeping. Hi, my name's Tara, I'm a professional creeper on all of the guests that we have on, all of them. And just from being in your guys's, like creeping in your guys's live stream, listening to your guys's podcast, and being in your Discord, you guys have a great community behind you.
Awesome.
And so if you guys ever did, like if I ever make it to BlizzCon and Cuddles, I do something, I'd be like, okay, we're going to do a Cuddles crew thing at like a bar somewhere, because I don't want to interfere with any of the things going on. You have the calm before the storm. You have the, I feel bad stepping on toes. So
Exactly. Yeah.
that would be our thing, Cuddles, by the way. That's what we're going to do. So,
You got to make you got to make
bar?
space for your people.
well, yeah, because I want greasy, fatty food and drinks that don't cost $12. So
Excuse me, my lady, but I do not drink very often, so
bullshit. But no, yeah, you guys do have, I would say,
you're still up. Sorry.
I would still say household name for sure. You guys do have a community,
Thanks.
and it's awesome to see all these little things
appreciate
grow.
Yeah.
All right.
No, and I mean, really, you guys are what? What's your next episode? 118?
115, I think.
115.
Yeah.
I know you know this stat, but for those that don't, most podcasts don't make it to episode 10. So to be like that is an alarmingly amazing milestone.
Thanks.
And I can tell you, Lagging Balls is one of the things that stays in my podcatcher. It's something that I look forward to. It's something that I've enjoyed for quite some time. And
Thanks,
just
man.
thank you for doing what you do. Like,
Well, you
really
as
and
well.
truly.
Yeah, we're the the mischief makers and the dreamers of dreams, right? We got to keep this boat rolling.
Let's talk about Legging Balls for a second. So you and Thist, because we talked about BlizzCon, we talked about that. You and Thist been at this for a bit now,
Yep.
and I would say it's a different type of WoW podcast. Definitely,
That's one way to say it.
it's one of those things where Thist had to message me, and I think we were talking. She's like, "This is like a PG." I'm like, "Yeah, it's kind of PG-13ish." She's like, "Okay, I got to keep that in mind because you guys, I don't think, hold back. You guys are really, this is how we feel, and this is what we're gonna say.
Oh,
and if you don't like it, come watch our podcast." But no, was that the initial intent? Was this is gonna be, we're gonna say what we want, have our opinions, or did that develop over time?
That was an original thought. That was
Okay.
a conscious decision. I mentioned I have a background in marketing. We talked about this stuff back at the beginning of the show. What's the tone of our show? What is the what's the direction we're going to take things? How are we going to position ourselves in the community? And one of the things that was obviously most important when you're thinking of these things, if you're intending to try and be successful at it someday, is what's your differentiator?
Yeah.
And for us, it was positivity and sincerity, and that authenticity. I think something that we said early on was, okay, now that we've decided this, if we ever find ourselves talking on this show, this only applies to the podcast in particular, but if we ever find ourselves talking on this show in any way that we wouldn't be talking to our guildmates and our raid team, it's time to reevaluate. Because, we wanted it to sound like the people you want to hang out with and raid with, and I don't know about your friends, but mine have filthy freaking mouths, man.
Yeah.
So that was the point, and that's what we chose outright.
Well, that's what I think any raid team. Sorry, T. I think any raid team, like even so, Convert to Raid is a very family friendly guild, and
but our raid
not
teams.
to give away any secrets, but our raid teams not so much. Having been a part of Bacon and Kegs, I can only imagine the conversations that go on because that team especially has a really cool blend of, so it's an early morning, like 7 a.m. Eastern time or 4 a.m. West Coast time raid team. So you have all these U.S. folks that are like bleary-eyed and drinking coffee and trying to wake up, combined with 4 to 6 Aussies that are already drunk off their just blitz as only Aussies can be.
Yeah.
And the conversations that happen are absolutely beautiful. But that's every raid team. Like that's not unique. And
absolutely
there's something special about World of Warcraft. And I think there's indeed something special about the podcasts that have sprung up around World of Warcraft. Like it's such a unique and inclusive and oftentimes dirty-minded community, but it's really incredible. Sorry, T, I totally cut you off. Might be.
No, I was gonna say Draven has a good point. Legging balls oversimplified. Blizzard positivity with lots of naughty bits mixed in.
There you go.
But yeah, I love it.
Well put.
All right, episode 114 or 115 is coming up. Have there been things you guys have changed? Because I'm not gonna lie, I've listened since episode 1. I think I came in last year sometimes. I don't even know what episode. Have things changed? Have you guys done those reevaluations where you're like, all right, we need to look at what's happening?
Absolutely. Yep. I think we cover more games than we did, but we always agreed that we wouldn't cover games that we don't play. So, we actually got back into some games that we had fallen off from, or started playing some of the Blizzard games that we hadn't played before, to make sure that we are in there and actually speaking from some level of experience, even if it's not the top end. Because I think we would all prefer to just be able to play all day, but very few of us get that chance. So, and even if you did, like we mentioned, there's absolutely something to be said about being a well-rounded gamer and playing games outside of Blizzard. Blizzard themselves would be, they would be on board with that because they see the value in that. And they often, a lot of the tweets from the staff themselves are often talking about other games and that sort of thing. So that's one of the changes we made, was including more, deciding not to include StarCraft because we don't play that at all. Yeah. And therefore it just doesn't make sense for us to really be talking about it. We've changed bumpers, audio bumpers throughout. We've done commercials, though I should say all of our commercials are fake. So, any commercial in the history of the show has been
not a real commercial.
Not
gotcha.
Real. So, there's some fun creativity that goes into that sort of thing. We've done a lot of experiments with the community building side. At first, the few emails that we had that would trickle in from time to time were anonymous. I think it was people who just didn't really want to be identified yet. And now we're getting to the point where enough people are writing in that we don't have time for them all each week, which is great. That's a really nice, it stinks because you can't include everyone like you want to, but it's a sign of, things picking up, which is really good.
That's awesome.
So yeah, some of those things necessitate changes to some of the show formatting, which is great.
All right. So Legging Balls is streaming now. You're still doing the podcast, which is separate. let's talk a little bit about your guild, created in 2009. So this was before the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes, well before.
And then how has like people from the show come to the guild because, or found out about it? Like, has your guild changed, I guess, because of the popularity of your guys' show?
Absolutely. That's a big difference, actually. So the guild started in 2009, so that's middle of Wrath of the Lich King.
Yes.
Which is shortly after I started. And I started in a gigantic guild that was one of those ones that just invited everybody, and it was like 600 people online at once, and whatever it was, just ridiculous numbers. And guild chat was basically the same as trade chat. You'd get made fun of for asking a question and those sorts of things, and lots of noob calling and things like that. And I was just like, this is lame. There are 5-10 people in here who are awesome. I'm gonna steal them and go start my own thing. So that's been going since early 2009, and then I would say there was a core of probably 15-20 people who were just really, really close, and the rest would kind of come and go. And then there were about 1 billion alts for everybody. And so it kind of grew from there. And then for a while it became a raiding guild, but it was still rooted in the social side.
Yeah.
And then it went back to the social side. And then it's come back around to being a little bit of a raiding guild. I don't know that I would really define it that way. We've got a full-time raid team that I mentioned before. We have a secondary raid team starting up now for everybody else who's a little bit more of a starter raid, that sort of thing, for people starting out or less experienced or less geared. And that started by one of the listeners, by one of the fans who joined the guild, and he started organizing that stuff, which is great. But to that point, yes. So then people actually are joining from the show, and we're actively encouraging them to do so. So that's awesome. It's building. We get some people who stop in from time to time, and others who are there semi-regularly. And I keep relatively late hours, so I tend to miss a lot of people, unfortunately. But then with all the Aussies as well, we'll catch them, and they'll be like, "Good morning." Like, what? Oh God, it's late.
It's that time of day again. Yeah, I used to be in one of those where the sun coming up meant that it was maybe time to go to bed. And now I'm like, if the sun's coming up, I'm waking up and I'm just like, fudge. It sucks. But no, I used to be one of those raid teams where sun's coming up. You're like, okay, it might be time to stop raiding.
Oh, yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
All right. We've covered what you do, which marketing means that's a reason why your guys' podcast is so successful. You guys went in with the plan. I think Cuddles kind of just brought me on after an episode, but it's been great. We're doing good, Cuddles. We're doing great. You have
you guys are doing awesome.
Thank you. We're hitting 100. That means we've done something right, I think. That's what everyone tells me. 100's a big deal.
It means we've persisted. I don't know if it means we've... You hit your head against the wall for the 100th time. It's an achievement, evidently. I don't know.
Well, if people are there to see it.
Yeah.
And here they are.
Somebody's still watching.
Yeah. So we've talked about your guild, which has been around for a while, going great. Your podcast, now you're streaming, which is awesome. Anything else you would like to add, either about Fist or about the show, or anything else that we maybe didn't touch on?
I was talking kind of about it in a roundabout way, but just to say it outright, if you are looking for a Horde side and looking for a home, you're more than welcome. I hope you guys don't mind.
Oh no, that's fine, because we're Alliance.
Okay.
Nothing we can do. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not stealing anybody. Yeah.
What?
CTR Guild has enough people in it, I think. So anybody looking for a Horde side, you've got a welcome home on Blood of the Scribe on Boulder Fist US. It is a PvP server.
Oh my god. Yeah,
so,
it is.
So we'll come back to that in a moment. But it's not as if you're not familiar with PvP realms, I would say ask around about it, because when I was first starting out, actually before I was starting out, when I was just considering playing the game, I had two separate groups of friends, some that were Horde, some that were Alliance, and I joined both of their servers at the same time. They had one thing in common. Non-PvP realms are training wheels. Yeah. So if you want to play the real game, you join a PvP guild or PvP server. We are not a PvP guild. In fact, I'm very bad at PvP. Usually when I fight PvP, I will, in an open world, it doesn't work out well for me. However, there is an element to the game that you're missing out by not having that element of danger in there. So I highly recommend it, and it's definitely a piece of the game that you're not being exposed to, that's not this isn't the old school. All the things that everybody hears about like you're getting your body camped and just like, not being able to get away from this person who's way above you in level and just camping your body and killing you over and over. That stuff doesn't happen. Like, and if it comes anywhere near happening, this guild will jump way the hell in there. This will be the first to arrive. Believe me. She loves this stuff, and she lives for the moment to swoop in and reign some
Rescue
justice.
the little guildies.
Yeah, exactly.
Love it.
So Turas, you let us know if you're running into that.
Oh. No, I am not yet. I've PvP. I've hopped factions before. So I started Alliance, went Horde, and we went on a PvP server. And it was right after Lich King, so it was Kata, and it was still very much people would still do like the camping and the like. People were dicks. And then now I'm back here. There's been a couple little tips at like quest givers, but for the most part, everyone's like, I'm a low level that doesn't want to do anything. So if you don't do anything, I don't do anything. And I'm like, all right, we can do this. Like, just do your quest and I'll do mine, and I won't go off.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's okay. But yeah, PvP does add an element. You have to be on all the time. You can't just AFK, mine's Control Z is my auto run, and go through it because you're a high level and you outrun them anyway. You might actually get ganked.
Yeah.
It'd feel weird. But no, it's good. And it does help. I will say it does help your raid awareness too so much. Like when I went to the PvP server, I became a better raider because of the amount of attention you have to pay, and you start learning a lot more.
Yeah, just aware of your surroundings and keybind that interrupt or that silence or that stun.
Yeah.
Yeah. 10 of,
You should have
10 of 10, like nearly any game that I can think of. If you're looking for a way to improve your PvE, go play PvP. Like Destiny that's about to come out. I know a lot of people are excited about that. Probably not people in our chat room right now, but I know there are a lot of people excited about Destiny. You want to get better at Destiny PvE? You get so used to being rooted in one spot and shooting.
Yeah.
Go play PvP. PvP guys don't stop moving. They just it's a different skill set, and it will improve you in both ways. Like if you're struggling in WoW PvE, go PvP for a while. For one, it'll take your mind off of it. For two, maybe you'll improve as a player, a little bit more well-rounded, or you'll just get wrecked during the Children's Week.
Oh my god, I hate that week. No one ever PvP that week.
So horrible.
Because you're supposed to what is it? Win however many with your child
You have
out?
to. The one that sucks the most is you have to have your child out, and you have to it's the twisty nether ones where you can fall off the ledge, and you have the fork ones with the flags, and you have to take the flag to each of the bases with your child. So you have to grab the flag and I have the achievement. It's been forever, but I remember doing this thing, and I'm like,
Sounds horrible.
because everyone just wants to do it. So no one's really PvPing. They're fighting over the flag because they just want to take their child up and plant the flag and be like, look, I can plant a flag.
And you know what? Children have no place on the battlefield.
No, and we're taking them everywhere. I never understood soldiers. It's like you're an orphan. Are you trying to get them to just die so you don't have to worry about?
Yeah.
This gets into a different topic.
We're thinning the orphan population.
Clears out the orphanage. Our orphanages are overpopulated. Let's take them to battle. That's a horrible idea, Azeroth. You're bad people. I do have one last question, because we're getting close to this time, and you have attended BlizzCon before, so this is something that I always like to ask, and I don't know. T's been around long enough to hear this question. Can you give me maybe 1 or 2 tips for somebody that's attending BlizzCon for the very first time?
Okay. Since this will only be my second time, I'll give you some really noob tips.
Those are the best tips.
Get in and register early if you can, because you want to get that loot box that we all get, and you're going to want to take that back to your hotel or your Airbnb or whatever. Also, speaking of Airbnbs, if you're planning on that for a place to stay this year, this is the last year you're going to be able to do that, because they're changing the laws in California, which take effect just after BlizzCon this year, and they will no longer be allowed to do the Airbnb thing. So, sorry. Let's see what else. Definitely make sure you make time to hang out in the hotel lobbies in the evenings, because that's where a lot is going down, and that's where everybody is, and there's a lot of people to see. definitely push yourself on your comfort levels in meeting other people and meeting people that you're interested in meeting and that sort of thing. Don't be afraid to approach the devs. They are super, super nice, and they are there specifically to meet everybody. Every last Blizzard person we met, we ran into Jeff Kaplan by accident when we were actually up near the media area to meet a different Blizzard employee, just a friend. And Jeff goes walking by, and we're like, "Hey, Jeff, hi, how are you?" And he was en route somewhere and stopped completely. And he didn't do that thing where you're kind of half faced away, and you're like, "Oh, hey, yeah, it's nice to, all right, yeah, hey, cool, all right, see ya." It wasn't anything like that at all. He stopped. He looked us straight in the face. He squared up right at us, and thankfully he didn't strike a pose to wrestle, because then we would both be dead. But instead, he gave us his full attention, and he took a few moments to just say hello, which was so nice. And that just really speaks to how much they take that to heart, that this is their chance to connect with everybody. So I would say don't be shy, and at the same time, don't try not to monopolize, because there's a lot of people there to meet them all. So I've only been to one, guys. That's all I got.
No, I like it. And I think it's not just when you say the meeting the new people, not just the devs too, but a lot of people have like Cuddles and you on this celebrity status because you guys do these podcasts. Come say hi to these guys. I'm not going to BlizzCon. That's why I'm excluding myself. But come say hi to these guys. Like, give them a high five, that sort of thing.
Absolutely.
They want you. Well, I'm going to speak for you. They want you to, because
I'm a hugger.
You like what they do.
Yeah.
Expect hugs.
I'll be the 6'3" guy with purple hair and neck beard and wearing a kilt.
Yes.
That oddly sets me apart from most other con goers. None of those things apart from each other sets me apart. However, all three of them together.
I'm actually, all three. Because the purple hair with the Celestial on. There's a lot of kilts. And there's a lot of tall. I'm actually quite surprised that there aren't more kilted, purple-haired, tall people.
There was actually, where was I? I was last at Guardian Con here in Tampa. It's a Destiny Bungie. Well, it's a Destiny community convention, not sponsored by Bungie. There was a lot of purple-haired people, but none of them had my glorious neck beard, and none of them were in kilts.
There you go. See?
So
differentiators.
Also,
personal marketing.
I normally don't do this, but I would like to say, Commander Human, thank you so much for that auto host. Very much appreciated, guys in chat. If you watch Twitch streamers and enjoy entertaining Twitch streamers, please take a moment and follow Commander Human. He's absolutely wonderful and incredible. I'm not going to edit this out of the podcast. Sorry for folks listening at home. I don't do much editing.
We copy and paste.
Yeah. Well, see, it's dangerous that you don't do much editing, yet you've had both Fist and I on this show. That's very dangerous, my friend.
You know what? You guys were possibly some of our cleanest guests.
I do have a giant sign above my screen right now.
Oh my God.
Says, "Keep it clean." And I only put that up when,
is that
got a show going on.
Is that just a personal reminder?
No, only because we're on air. So
it's because of this show. Okay, I thought it was like wash your hands when leaving the restroom. Okay.
No, because clearly we don't do that on a regular basis. But
no, I'm comfortable with the germs that are already on my hands. They haven't gotten me sick, so why would I wash them off? That doesn't make sense to me.
We're gonna be purely fist bump buddies. Purely fist bump buddies.
Oh, so guys, this brings us to a wonderful and magical part of the show where we do a few shout outs. Thorn, do you have anybody that you'd like to shout out this week?
Boy, do I. I would just like to say I'd like to send a shout out to my baby mama. I love you, Monisha.
Is that really your wife's name?
No.
Oh,
and then
okay,
also I'd like to. That was just a joke. That's actually from an old Dr. Dre album, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like the original Chronic, I think. Is from,
yes.
From. And then Ro, shout out to Ro. Congrats on 5 years. Big pillar in the community.
Yes.
I know you guys have probably said it on here. Every show has said it by now. I feel like I've said it a bunch of times, but that's a huge milestone in this thing that we're doing. We sit back for a moment and think about how long we've been doing things, and a year in this time is an eternity. And so 5 of trying to cover all of our crazy butts is awesome. So shout out to Ro. Shout out to Fist, of course, my
Aw.
glorious co-host, and to you guys. Thank you so much for having us on and for taking time out of your schedule to let me come here and talk a bunch of crap.
Oh, that's
Oh, I
awesome.
love it. I
Dee,
love
what
it.
about you?
Shout out to because I started streaming again. I'm on 5 streams so far in like a week and a half or 2 weeks. I don't know,
Nice.
but it's exciting. So thank you all for coming out. And Friday night was a challenging one because I really kept dying, and I'm sitting here, and it's one of those things. When I did motorcycle school, that I was being paid to do it, and they were paying for it, so I couldn't quit, and I wanted to on that second day because it was hard. I'm sitting here, I'm like, people are watching me. I cannot freak out right now because when things don't go my way in games, I get to the point where I'm like, either I need to walk away or it starts getting nasty. And so I'm sitting here, I'm like, I am on camera. I am on camera. They cannot know the dark side of turrets right now. But you guys hung out and you did really well when I finally was like, and we're going to PUBG now because at least Death's there. I feel like I'm accomplishing something. So thank you guys for that. And then shout out to Cuddlewife and Cuddles because Wednesday you guys came and PUBG'd with me, which was awesome.
Yeah.
We didn't do very well, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Was that the 3-person version?
So you have single, you have duo, and then squad, which is up to 4, and you
Okay.
can automatically match someone in there, but I never do. If you have 3 people, you just go on as 3 and you just die. And it's
Auto match,
fine.
not a good call.
Yeah. Have you
No.
ever LFG'd?
Yes,
Yeah. No.
this is the equivalent.
Yeah. It's the first person shooter equivalent of LFG.
Okay.
And also add in there that not only do they have the ability to horribly fail you, they can also shoot you in the face.
Oh, you can shoot your own team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cuddles, hey, how's that go?
Wow.
I haven't done that in weeks. Thank you very much.
In literal weeks.
This has been tens of days. Tens.
What about your shout out, son?
First and foremost to our wonderful guest Thorn. Thank you so much, man. It's not only a pleasure, but it's truly an honor to have you on here.
Oh, thanks.
I'm not kidding. And Lagging Balls is one of the podcasts that I look up to. You guys put out an amazing and excellent product, and I'm talking like podcaster terms here instead of like. But you guys put out a great product, and I love what you
Thanks,
do.
man. Getting
outs-
rid over here.
Outside of that, oh, and also hugs must be had this year. Like I'm kidding, like 100% serious. I don't care who's sitting next to me, unless it's Ian. Well, no, if it's Ian, then Thist will tackle him.
You won't have to worry about it. They'll already be
There
there.
you go.
It's
Yeah, no. So there's
Well,
nobody.
4 people
um,
on that stream.
Yeah, you
I'll
guys
just look for the security.
you guys just barge in. just barge in. Oh no. Okay, never mind. I ran my wife over this week.
You did. I was gonna say I wasn't gonna mention it, but
PUBG.
yeah, you
Damn it.
did.
Yeah,
You
I
did run
did.
her over in a car.
Thank you, chat. Thank you, chat room. You're
I
never
wasn't
ending
sure what you were
memories.
talking about.
Well, you know what? We had a big fight. She didn't want to go to the grocery store. I wanted tacos. I've been told that Twitch commentary is totally inadmissible in court, so I just ran her over. In PUBG, people. Oh my gosh, let me internet disclaimer here. That's gonna be like on YouTube tomorrow. No, but to everybody that's coming out and watching me stream, the stream has been going wonderful and like just really cool things have been happening. Shout out to DJ Truthsayer and Commander Human for everything that they've done for me lately. Shout out to StackUp.org for having the faith in me to bring me on staff and let me do things. I'm going to be out at PAX West in, oh my gosh, like 48 hours. I'll be in Seattle. So like just thank you to everybody that supported me along my journey. I appreciate you guys. I could not be happier about where it's taken me. And lastly, shout out to Turrets. Turrets is there for me for a lot more than what goes on with this show, and I could not be more thankful for her support and her like she knew when I started playing WoW. Like that kind of says it all. Thank you, T. I appreciate
Plus, I
you.
remind you to eat when your wife's gone. I'm like, Cuddles, go eat some food.
There you
This
go.
is true.
It's
My
important.
wife was gone for 3 days, and T didn't remind me.
No,
and I
'cause I
had
was like,
I had
treat-
egg rolls and a bag of munchies.
So
Like that's all I had for 3 days.
whenever Cuddle Wife's gone, I have to be like, shower.
I played a
eat.
lot of PUBG though. I did. It was good. So this brings us to that magical time of the show where I get down on my virtual knees and I beg and I plead with you to leave those all-important 5-star iTunes reviews. Now, if you enjoyed what we did tonight, guys, I want you to leave 5 stars for the Game Case show. If you didn't really like it, if there was something wrong, something a little bit off tonight, I want you to leave 2 stars for Feeling Thorny, a adult podcast about horticulturalists gone wild. Thorn, where can people find you on the internet?
At feelingthorny.com. No.
You don't own that by the morning? Like,
Oh man, that's so good. Feeling Thorny, the horticulturalist.
Nope, it does not
show.
exist. It does not.
That's hilarious.
GoDaddy.
Oh, it may exist and just be on the down low.
There is a World of Warcraft cast called Feeling Thorny. It's in Razorfin Crawl. Sorry, I had to
Nice.
Google search. Distracted. Continue.
So I'm on.
$11.99 if you want it. I'm sorry. I'm going
There
to
you
keep
go.
on cutting you off until you buy
There you
feelingthorny.com.
go. That sounds like $12 well spent. It's just gonna be like you're gonna go to feelingthorny.com and it's just gonna be like.
Like pictures
Love
of you
it.
like on a bear rug. Okay, sorry.
I like
Where
it.
can people find
I
you on
like
the
it.
internet, kind sir?
I don't know. I'm off on this
Thanks,
tangent
you.
now. That's all I can think of.
Yeah.
So Twitter at Thornbrow, laggingballs.com for the show, or laggingballs basically everywhere else. Twitter, our Discord has that name. Everything has that name. In fact, if you just Google Lagging Balls, you're going to find us. I would suggest, as this has told you in the past, stay away from the image search.
Yeah.
It's actually an exciting journey. It really and truly is. So, guys, that's going to do it for this week. Chat room. Thank you so much, Thorn. Thank you so much, T. Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys, we'll see you back here. Not next week. We're going to be 1 week out because I will be in Seattle. But look forward to, for those that watch my stream, look forward to some probably some IRL streams out of Seattle. I might do like a Hearthstone stream or something. Like I can only do what my laptop will allow me. So maybe like a really potato PUBG stream. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. Thorn, T, say bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
I don't know if I can do it.
Come on.
Oh my God. Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
That was good.
Oh, Lord. Oh, God.
Thank you for listening to The Game Case Show. Be sure to follow us on Twitter. You can find Cuddles at The Game Case, Tourarts at Tourarts, and you can find the show at The Game Case Show. Join us live Sunday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/thegamecase. Archived episodes are available at youtube.com/thegamecase. The theme music for the show is Celtic Impulse by Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com and is licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0.
Okay.
And
post-show.
we're back. A little bit of post show, guys. I thought these were my gunners, and